It's up, it's good, and the Lions lead 7-0.
Makes the score Lions 7, Vikings nothing.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
After a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there. On 3rd down, Jones. Open man lane. It's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
39-yard line.
They'll run with a former Tar Heel, T.J. Logan. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Same exact result as last play, a pickup of 11. Defensively, they were in the 3-4. A solid run up the middle. What made it successful?
Well, what you have to do is control the nose guard. But sometimes you don't do it by blocking him. You do it by influencing him. Get him moving to one side or the other and hit him back on the opposite.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. And he stopped immediately there.
For the running back.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Now that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the 1st down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
Incomplete.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback.
20-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. From the shotgun, again to Jones. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Tackled at the 27-yard line. A 3-yard gain on the play. Brings up 3rd down.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
A 5-yard gain.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Brings up second.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37.
He's brought down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
From the gun on 3rd down. Gone. Got an open man finding Jefferson. 20. Touchdown, Detroit.
Gone.
Justin Jefferson with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Lions add on to their lead.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
Harrison Butker is set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
5-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving.
And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down.
Jones sacked by Myles Garrett. A loss of 9 on the play. Brings up 3rd down.
2nd quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. Throwing on 3rd and long. Jones. Incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
Incomplete.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get untracked in this one.
A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin. But now it's 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. They'll fake the give. Now gone. They'll go in for Jefferson downfield. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
Hardman on a return. Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you.
And a double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick six. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. And no return on this one. It's a fair catch, a signal for and taken.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this, you'd hate to say that a drive in the first half must end in points, but you're down 21-0. But they have to get something going fairly quickly.
I would agree totally with that, because if you're going to mount the comeback, it's going to have to come in bits and pieces. It doesn't just all come at one time, right? We haven't seen anything more than a 6-point touchdown ever in this game, right? So that's how it has to be done. Get points on the board now. Start your comeback. But you're exactly right. Let's get it going right here in this spot.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards, a first down.
1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Now Jones throwing on first down. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Give him back-to-back catches now. That one for 16 and another first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
From the 39, Jones. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Was up for the challenge through the air. They force a 4th down.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
Now the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. From the gun, Jones. And he comes back with one complete. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. Jones on 1st and 10. Completes it to Hardman. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. A gain of 8 there on the 8th play of the drive. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now a throw off sideline here is complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line.
That's good for a Minnesota Vikings.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Jones. And this will be incomplete. physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 3rd
and they'll run on the inside handoff. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Mike Zimmer's made his decision, and that decision is to try and go for this thing on 4th down. From the gun, Jones. And that is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And it'll be a turnover on downs. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. First down and much more here for Jones. And all the way up to the 33-yard line. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
A gain of 25 yards.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
They'll run it with Jones. And he'll get this up to about the 40. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
40-yard line.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
On second down, it's Jones. And they got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. A give to Jones. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Jerome Baker there on the tackle. This a 2nd and 7 from the 37.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
They'll try the air now with Gall. That's complete to a speedy wideout Goodwin. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 19. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. From the red zone now, Gall. And it is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. From 19 yards away. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Now Jones. The right side going to be caught by Hardman. And all the way down to the 29. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Set to kick off.
The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. Jones, 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, we saw that he had a lot of success last week throwing the football, but that hasn't translated to this week. But with his team behind, I don't expect him to back off. I expect him to keep firing.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. 51 yards on the punt there. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
20-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points, and they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Again, it's Jones. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up.
Brings up 3rd down.
Throwing on 3rd. Gone. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that is incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Here's Hardman to return. Sidesteps him at the 35. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it up. On 2nd down now, it's Logan. 5 yards on 1st down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd.
He was tackled at the 46-yard line. A gain of a yard brings up 3rd and 5.
Here's Jones from the gun on 3rd down. Able to hit his target lane. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Jones now on 1st down. Dancing to his left. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable. And that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat. And if he flushes out, they're fine with that. And they force another incompletion.
Glad to have you with us from Minneapolis. Third quarter here, 2nd and 10. Open down the middle of the field. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 25-yard line. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Jones. It's complete to Jake Butt. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. From the gun, Jones. His guys will get the football back. So when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
A gain of 4.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Goff. They're going for Jefferson downfield. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and say, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. They're going deep downfield for Boykin. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Miles Boykin, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the interception by the Vikings D leads to a touchdown. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 28-7 ball game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will make it into the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25.
25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Jones. And he's going to get this all the way down to the Vikings' 16-yard line. A big run there by Jones. Give him 53 yards on the ground. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Here's Jones. There he goes again. And did he get in? No. Down at the 1-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
Stopped short of the goal line. It's a gain of a yard.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. run back in the game. That's Jones, second and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Ronald Jones, his second touchdown of the night. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those two TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. Now Jones throwing on first down. Jones has just thrown his 3rd interception. Picked by Jeff Okuda. That's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Now 2nd and 9 from the 10. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Jones. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Here's a give to Jones running left. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
A 30-yard.
Butker's kick here is good. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Made it at the 25-yard line. The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now.
And for the first time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. CD, this defense, man, at this rate, they're just having fun out there right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, you're saying, hey, let the other guys play. But with this going on, no one wants to come out of the game. They all want their shot at picking off a pass.
First down, Jones. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They'll keep it on the ground. Jones. And he's going to be stopped just short of the first down marker at the Vikings 35. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
And it's 3rd down.
Now Jones. And Jones is not going to have the first down as they stop him short. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
now 4th down.
And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And that is no good. Hit it well from distance, but he couldn't work it back in. And this score will stay right where it is. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Their defense was able to hold serve, albeit with a little help from that missed field goal as they settle in now 1st and 10. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is,
and my goodness, another interception. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away but could not. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Called it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13.
No gain on the play. And it brings up 3rd down.
Out of the gun. Gone. They'll rifle this one deep right side. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. And they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. But it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
3-yard line.
Throwing, Jones. Steps away, and the ball is out. Jones going to hit and lost it. This is scooped up by the Lions.
You got to play with me in this booth. I'm going to try to be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
Down at the 28.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
3rd down.
They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd. Now it's gone off the bootleg. And that will be incomplete.
Oftentimes when you lose in a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical to force that incompletion.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So not sure how they feel about that. They had golden field position to start the drive after the fumble recovery, but they went backward and then got 3.
Well, let's go from gold to silver, because the silver lining is they got the 3, right? You're talking about the golden field position. They didn't take advantage of it. That has to feel like a letdown.
You always stand ready to pounce. Always. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Well, sometimes teams want to do that. Coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a third and a couple remaining. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is caught one-handed. Nobody pulled it in. Touchdown, Vikings. Mecole Hardman, his 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. This no good. Just his second miss of the year, and our score will stay right where it is. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This will make it into the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback.
25-yard line.
Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. They were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. That's always puzzled me a little bit.
And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be second down. Goff going to throw it. Going deep downfield for Ross. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. He was looking for John Ross that time. And it's third down. So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. To the air again. Goff. He's going to take another shot here. That's going to be caught. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead.
Harrison Butker is set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
Their own 33-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.